Hello YouTube, this is Marshall Dion and we're gonna be doing another creepypasta video. Now we're gonna take a step away from Lost Episode CreepyPastas for a bit and look at a creepypasta that doesn't get as much as recognition as the other ones. This one is called The Skate Park. Now, since I happen to be a skateboarder myself, this would probably be the perfect creepypasta for me. Now, as well as for any of my friends who are also skateboarders, to maybe they can take a look at this story and see, because this piques my interest and I thought maybe it'll pique theirs too. So anyways, let's not waste any more time and let's get started with the skate park. When I was a junior in high school, my friends and I were looking for new places to skate since we had all skated so much at the parks near us. We started asking around town and on skate park forums. Weeks went by without any answers until I received a blog message from an anonymous person. He talked about an old abandoned park in upstate Maine. He also stated to contact him via email once we got to Bangor. The fact of it being abandoned intrigued me. It was quite a drive from Portland, but it had been a long summer, so this would be worth the drive. The next day, two of my friends and I packed our car, said goodbye to our parents, and headed for the skate park, headed for Bangor. We reached Bangor in little over 2 hours. I emailed the guy, and he told me to head towards Grandview Avenue until you reach Prentice Woods. Then we entered the woods, and I emailed the guy back and asked him where the hell in all these woods would we find the park. His next answer shocked me. We were instructed to pay attention to the trees that had arrow etchings and the only arrows with the image of the all-seeing eye above them. They were the ones that led to the park. I was starting to doubt the legitimacy of what this man was saying, but nevertheless we walked on. The woods were full of noises that made me jump. One of my friends, Mark, wanted to head back, but we didn't drive all this way to go home now. After around 45 minutes of searching, we found it. The park was oddly rusted, but in overall good shape. It was thoroughly overgrown with weeds everywhere, trees overhanging the pipes, and various plants and shrubs everywhere, but it looked awesome. There were quarter pipes, half pipes, rails, ramps of various sorts, and even a long tunnel that led to an elevated ramp. We exchanged looks at each other, and back at the park, we grabbed our boards and instantly started skating. The pipes were so huge and fast, and I thought I was gonna burn to ash. While Mark and I were exchanging turns down the pipe, my other friend Spencer headed down the tunnel. We didn't notice he was gone until it started to get dark. Maybe we were to focus on what we were doing, or maybe even something else. But either way, he was gone. We called his name over and over again, but he didn't show. I yelled to him to stop kidding around, because we should be leaving soon, and still no response. Mark and I began to walk down the tunnel. It was much longer than I expected. The first thing I noticed about the tunnel was the further we go through, the colder it became. After 10 minutes of walking and calling for Spencer, I swear I could hear whispering. Mark's expression implied he did too. As we searched the ramp, it became so cold that I could see my breath. The two of us climbed over the ramp and realized there was a wide and very deep pit after the jump. Horrified, I peered inside. And to my terror, I found Spencer impaled on a metal spike. Even worse, there was a small child feasting on Spencer's now severed arm. It looked up at us and snarled, then it went back to its meal. Mark and I turned and ran. I ran through the woods so fast, not looking behind once. We reached the car and drove home. I never talked about that day ever again. Spencer's parents asked us what happened to his son. We never knew what to say, so we would just look down and walked away. They think we murdered him, but the police don't and never will have evidence to accuse us on. I am never skating again. Oh, that was a very short creepypasta. It was pretty interesting, and as a skateboarder, probably wouldn't expect much, but now when I originally looked up this creepypasta, there were some grammatical errors, which is why I didn't read it like from the actual creepypasta. Instead, I just, from the actual website, I just copied the story onto a Word document, fixed some grammatical errors, and that way I can actually read them more correctly. And I probably still made a few little errors myself, but I apologize for that. Now, the part about when Spencer disappeared when he went down that tunnel that was when probably things took a turn for the absolute worst, and of course, seeing Spencer getting impaled on that spike. But what really gets me though is, what kind of child was it that was eating Spencer's arm? It's probably some sort of a savage or a cannibal. Who knows? But either way, it was... I mean, have you just ever imagined going to an abandoned skate park? Maybe you should probably think twice before going there, because you might never know what happened. But then again, a skate park like that with nobody around is too good of an opportunity to pass up. But always proceed with caution. But the one other thing that I don't get though is at the end that the main protagonist said, "I am never skating again." I don't know why he put that there. I don't know why the author put that there, but if I go through something like that, I wouldn't say I'm never skating again or anything like that. I'd probably just continue riding my board because I'm a skater for life. I skate till I die. That's a part of me that I'm gonna live with. So, and now here would be another thing. If I were in that situation, I probably would tell Spencer's parents what happened, and I would probably have to contact the Maine State Police, since the setting takes place in Maine, and would have to inform them what happened and have to show them the body, but the scene where Spencer's impaled body is, but might never know. He might end up being, like a meal for that savage cannibal child. So, anyways, I'm gonna stop right now, and hopefully I'll get more creepypastas in very soon. All right, I just want to try to get them all in before Halloween. So, anyways, this is Marshall Dion signing off for now.